Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, it was blood in the streets. That's right. If you're not paying attention to the stock market, it's stock party over? Hell no. This is just a reset. This is a warning sign. This is also why you should be picking up some of this cheap stuff along with some of that cheap crypto. It's going down, ladies and gentlemen, according to plan. Just remember what I was talking about 2 years, 7 months ago. That's right. Way ahead of the curve. Lots of you have been able to be prepared because now you're going to be even more prepared. Because what did we talk about 9 months, 10 months ago? Learning how to do stock market trading. That's right. We always got to put you in position to win because that's what we want. But it's up to you to make it happen. And I know lots of you don't like the odds for stock trading, but we talked about it. And I'm sorry I'm late. But hey, we're putting together an empire. Let's call it what it is. 33 domain names today. Hint, hint, we coming. That's all I can tell you at the moment. And welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get all right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here once again. Even though I'm late, please forgive me. But like I said, I can't be too concerned in reality because when you're putting together a masterpiece, when you're putting together something that's going to alter the way business is done, you can't sit idly by and let days go by because this is earth shattering, earth shaking. And I have to say, it's quite surprising because my helper, the person that's helping me, co founder, and all of the names, chief technology officer, all of it, it's incredible. You guys should hear some of these brainstorming ideas that comes by because, oh my God, we can do it. We can do whatever we want and nobody can stop us. But anyhow, 33 domain names, and make sure you guys share the video so everybody else understands what's happening. You guys do understand domain names are real estate. Just like real estate inland, real estate where homes are, real estate where commercial property is, an address is real estate. How are you going to exploit that real estate? Well, it's up to you. Some people do nothing, which is fine. That's like normally what I do with .coms. But in this case, empire building means you need assets, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, when you do empire building, you have people that always try to take parts of it away from you. And unfortunately, that's just the way the world is. So now, the stock market today took a piece of a chunk out of a lot of people that started panicking. And I have to say, when there's blood in the streets, you guys know what to do. We've talked about this before. Don't think that it's all over. It's not. The United States is one of the most resilient countries in the world because they have the world currency. Therefore, it's going to cost us a hell of a lot more money, but they're not going anywhere. And they're going to manipulate the stock market next week. Don't worry, but you have an opportunity to join the party. First things first, make sure you let everybody else know to come on down because the party is about to start. It's moving way ahead of schedule. You know, when you have talented people in the room, and like I said, there's one talented person beyond belief. This stuff moves so fast, I have no words. I'm just telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen. I can't tell you anything because let's just say what it really is. Theft, stealing, people trying to stop you, people trying to interfere, so I can't say much. That's all I could say is 33 domains. That's all I can tell you. I can't tell you which ones. I can't say anything about it because I already know what people are going to do. That's what they do out here. They try to block, try to mess things up for people. That's not what we do here. We want you to win. First things first, go to findhelp.org if you need help out there. Just go to findhelp.org. It's that simple. Thank you, Matthew Lesko. For 50 years, he's been helping people with grants with the question mark on his shirt, talking about his book and government grants. That's right. So let's show some love. Go over to leskohelp.com, Lesko help.com if you want to sign up. It's either like $20 a month, or you can just pay like $50 or $60 for a whole year. And then you have other helpers that tell you where to go get grants, where to get free money from, because there's tens of thousands of people in this group. And all you have to do is put in a question and say, hey, I'm in this city, state, I need help with this. And you will have people coming to your rescue. Just saying. And stop playing out here, because if you think 80% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck, I got news for you. That was the number last year. The prices weren't as high as they are now. So you have to figure that number is even higher. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, at the end of this title, it says IP, trademarks, copyrights all go into that as well. Your own thing that you're going to have to do is act like you are a rich person. When you write something, when you sing something, when you giving advice on something, you might want to start thinking about recording and doing things like this, because audio, video, and your thoughts on paper are an IP. You program, that's IP as well, the code. You're writing books, you're writing memoirs, anything that you're putting down right now, you better start considering it's intellectual property, trademarkable. You better figure out something. Because how this is going, because we don't have manufacturing in America, this is going to a service-based industry. So basically they're relying on people to have money without having a lot of workers. But so I don't know how that's going to work. We do know how that's going to work. That's why there's a countdown. But the point is, since there's not that many manufacturing worker jobs with livable wages, that means people have to shake your ass. Got to be on some sort of social media platforms. So then you can get some of this rain money coming in. But again, they can turn it off at any time. And you know what? I just went to go look just this past week because I didn't know how much people were charging. So out of every dollar that a person on TikTok, YouTube, and other platforms that you make because you're out here performing, right? Doing what we're doing right now, helping them get the IP, the trademark, and all of that, and this information on who's signing up and all that they can sell, you're not getting anything. But here's what you're getting. You're getting 45%. They're taking 55%, ladies and gentlemen, of your hard work, my hard work. They're making 55%, and that's only if they give that to you. You don't really know what they're making, because all of you who's watching right now, you're part of the ecosystem for them. They're saying, hey, they're over here watching this financial channel. Hey, and by the way, we need $25 per 1,000 people that view this. Advertiser, did they work for it? No, but they did make the platform. Just saying. So you got to give them credit. They have the platform, so therefore they are able to make the money, and they're making it 55% to them. That's right. That's right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you understand why all of the rich guys want some sort of social media, because everything is based on how many people, how much you want to pay. People are going to pay. That's where everybody is for hours a day on their phone, on their computers, paying attention to social media platforms. That's valuable. So just keep that in mind when you don't care about IP, trademarks, any copyrights, any of that. You just bypass, don't think nothing of it. Well, this is the way of the new world order, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have it, you'll be paying for it. In other words, you're going to be renting, just like they do your subscriptions. Every month, Microsoft got to pay, just like you got to pay Netflix, Amazon, just like you got to pay Google if you want to be in their ecosystem, just like same thing. That's what you're going to be doing. You're just going to be paying rent unless you change the script. So, certain ways you can change the script down below in the description box. Findhelp.org. That's the first thing. Find help. Put in your zip code. Somebody can help you. Also, we talked about this starting 9-10 months ago because you knew this day would come. These type of days where you could make money while the stock market goes down, crashing down. You could have made money, a lot of it. But how many of you took the heed? I know you sat on the sidelines watching the parade go by. I've been giving you CoinX, which is the broker that you could have downloaded. It's down below in the description box. I'm going to put it in the chat room as well. You had that. Then I gave you the Candlestick Trading Bible. And the link is also down below in the description box. So I'm going to put both links in the chat rooms. You guys had all this for 9-10 months ago. You had plenty of time to get your things in order. If you decided to learn about trading, you could have taken advantage today. But don't worry. You're going to be able to take advantage sometime later this week and this month. So don't worry, it's not over. But the point is, all this volatility, you could be taking advantage a different way. If you studied, if you practiced, if you actually paid attention to it and you had that time to pay attention on almost a daily basis, at least 5 days or 4 days or 3 days a week minimum, then at this point you would be a lot better off, and you'd be able to trade more confidently. You would have your game plan down and you would stick with it. You wouldn't be wishy-washy, right? So just saying, this is all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen. We set you up with the program. Now, this last little leg of the adventure, I don't know how I can include you, but I can, because the co-founder said, you know what? We can do this. And that means we can bring you along, ladies and gentlemen, for a nice ride. You want to have a little, well, I can't give you any IP because if we do something, we'll keep it. But the point I'm trying to make is at least you have something better than 55-45 deal. 55 to the company, 45 deal to what's going on here? To you? See, I realized, since we're shadow banned and everything, I realized we don't make money, right? So I never really cared. I never even knew what the split was. So then, because what we're doing, had the conversation just yesterday. I actually Googled, and I could not believe, like I started saying, that they're taking 55% of every dollar that you earn while you're giving them videos to get them more people to come to their platform that they can charge advertisers for. That is nasty work. 55% of your money gone. Even your super chat, Snapchats, what do you call them? Super chats and all that. Same splits. That is abominable. So, ladies and gentlemen, you better get on the program that we've been talking about. First things first. The SSN Nation Way started 2 years, 6 months, 7 months ago now. Bank account outside the United States. Real estate or business outside the United States. Those are the first 2 of 3 tenets. So you got that again. Get your pen, pad, and papers ready. Bank account outside the United States. Real estate or business outside the United States. And get your credit score as high as possible before the next 4 or 5 months. Why? Because I don't want you guys to just have 0% for 24 months or 21 months interest credit cards. I want you to have 36 months. How do we know 36 months is going to come? They will have no choice. After these defaults, for the lower levels, the people with the higher credit score, they're going to start hunting for them, is my opinion. We will see what happens, but that's what I believe, because if I know a certain segment pays on time 99.9% of the time, you're damn right. At least I don't have to worry about them crashing out and saying, hey, we just send it to collections. They're fine with send it collections because they just write it off, and then they turn around and sell it to a collection agency. derivatives, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact of the matter is, you can only write off so much until you start saying, man, we just wrote off like $100 billion. That's not cool. I mean, under any circumstance. So this is where it's headed. Because if prices continue to rise, which they will, as we talked about over the last 3-5 years, this is no surprise to you. You're the OCs. You guys already know what was being said 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. So once again, you're here and you have opportunities. Stock party over is not over. Just keep that in mind. This is opportunity. The crypto party, not over. These guys have ETFs. These guys have helpers. They have the the Federal Reserve. They're going to help them. They have banks that's going to help them. They have a lot of help. So they will not fall, because if they do, oh, it would be getting real ugly here fast. But don't worry about it. You still have a way out. Now let's go. Let me see who's anybody in the house, because if you guys don't want to talk about anything tonight, that is fine. I have a lot of work to do right now. Sorry. I don't mind. I love doing 30, 45-minute live streams. It's fine, because that just means it goes on the podcast a lot sooner than a 2-hour video. Just so you know. Now, let's get down to the other parts of the business tree, because it did start off with stock market. You guys know what happened today. Are you making plans? All I'm asking, are you guys out here making plans? Let me know down below. What's your plans? You're going to be in one of these the industries that actually is hands-on, that people need. You're going to actually learn how to do HVAC. Yes, you're going to be a mechanic and learn how to work on cars. I mean, those jobs are pretty well safe. People are out here trying to save money. They don't want to be buying a new car that they're going to have $1,000 a month payments. They can't afford it anyhow. So therefore, all of these industries, people are going to try and keep things lasting longer. The plumber, they're going to have jobs. All these jobs where people need hands-on, that's who's going to keep their jobs. And guess what? They can charge whatever they want. Because when you have 50 people lined up calling and you say, well, I can't get to you for 3 weeks from now, they can charge whatever they want. And that's what's happening. That's what's going to continue to happen, because people are going to try and keep things, make them last longer. So you need people that know how to fix it. And then once again, if you own a liability such as a home, you should be the one figuring out how you fix things, because it's going to get very, very pricey if you don't. The party could be over for you, but the party's not going to be over for the rich guys in the stock market. So again, OCs, you better get in line, because the warning shot again is another one. And if you don't know history, you can go back to the 1980s, tax cut, tax break era, trickle down theory for 3, 4-year presidents. 12 years of trickle down theory economics resulted in savings and loan crisis, resulted in a inflationary environment, resulted in thousands of people losing jobs. Then we did it in 2000, the same thing as Dad did. And in 8 years later, 7 years later, same thing again. Now we're doing it again 2 times in 12 years. And now we're back to the same old thing. And for whatever reason in life, people are still acting like the other guys did it. You guys got to start waking the F up, because you're sitting around here trying to blame the wrong side of the fence, like they did something when somebody else is in control doing damage, like right now. And by the way, all you pedo protectors out there, I got no love. All you rapist protectors, I got no love. All you guys that think that you should hurt people on purpose, I have no love. That ain't what we rocking with out here. We out here trying to help people. We ain't out here trying to put people in the ground. We ain't out here trying to hurt people. We out here trying to uplift. We out here trying to make sure people get better. We're trying to stop you from these guys that's sitting out here in government and just, wasting taxpayer money. They're out here taking jobs away from you. They're not giving you government money. They're giving it to their buddies who just started a company a week ago and have 2 employees. Oh, yeah, you can have a $40 million government contract. Yeah, there's no vetting. This is taking out of your mouth, out of your pocket, and there's 30 or 40%, 50% of the population potentially out here rah rah shishku bombing. Like you're getting a piece of this. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the stock party is not over. This is so you can take advantage. But if you don't have any disposable income, you can't do anything. You can just sit there and go, my God, the stock market just dropped today, or the stock market's at all time record highs. My God, do you see this? And who does that help? Come on now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on one right now. Who does that help with the stock market going up higher if you don't have stocks? By the way, you don't. 10% of the stock market is owned. The top 10% own 93% of the stock market. The top 10% of the wealthiest, ladies and gentlemen, own 90. I've been telling you, this is so disgusting when you really think about it. So when the stock market drops, you could either go yay, but they don't care because they can manipulate it. They're just going to call up their Federal Reserve buddies. Hey man, reduce the rate, reduce the rate, reduce the federal rate so I can borrow at a lower rate so I can buy some more stocks while they're cheap. That's what they're doing right now, calling on the phone. How do I know? Jerome Powell said, Eric, man, why are all these rich dudes always calling me up? I said, dude, you live in a systemic system. They call it capitalism, but it's bribery. It's illegal activity for thee, not for everybody. I'm like, dude, I'm almost tired of talking with you because you kind of like part of it. And he's like, I remind you, this is my job to make sure. I'm like, oh, okay, you're right. I can't say much. You're right about that. You see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? This is what's happening out here. While you're watching the parade go by, it just cost you more money today. Today's price is not going to be next week's price. So if you all you care about is gas prices may or may not have went down temporarily, so what? Everything else, 99% of everything else is costing more than it did a year ago. So I don't understand what this celebration is about. Acting like somebody's doing a better job, that's insanity. But all I'm going to tell you is we're not sitting on the sidelines. EV Place is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live stream. And he brings with him that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And that means he's a member of the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We only have a few members of the channel because of our shadow ban scenario and because they took away our monetizations. Therefore, they canceled everybody and they kind of canceled that button that says, hey guys, he just went live. Guess what? You don't get it for a reason, in case you do find us. But that's the reason, because they control this outlet. So they can do whatever they want, especially when you're out here trying to help the OCs. And EV Place is out here trying to help the OCs as well when he said CastleRockREO.com and other things. And welcome again. He brings his tagline, good evening, SSN. Happy Friday. I hope you all are doing well. Exactly. I hope you all are doing well too, because if you're out here crying about anything, there's only one thing to do at this point because it's all over but the shouting. I already told you guys this. You live in a third world country, you just don't know it yet. You're watching it go down in flames while some rich assholes are out here going through the United States Treasury like it's their own piggy bank, diverting IRS laws like it's a normal thing. Meanwhile, we got to adhere to the laws. This is absurd. And by the way, guess what happens when you have that type of instruments in front of you? You're the one going down. We're the one going down. You OCs, you're going down. Your ascension to the top, yes, you can still do it because there's systems in place. But it's getting harder and harder, and you're reaching a class system. And unfortunately, you better start caring about the foundation, because if you don't care about the foundation, guess what? The top crumbles. You need to be like a plebe. Some people don't understand this language. A plebe in Roman times, when these rich assholes got, you know, a big too big for their britches, the plebeian said, "Oh, so you guys think you run everything? Guess what? We're leaving the city. You can pick up your garbage. You can take care of your kids. You can go get the food. You can go sit down there at the farm and start picking fruits and veggies and doing this. You can worry about the cleanup on aisle 5. You can worry about, oh yeah, the kingdom and everybody at your whim, gone." Yeah, things changed quite rapidly when people were out of the city and gone, and all the rich dudes are sitting there twiddling their thumbs like, "I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. I've been paying people to do this stuff." Well, they're not here. Until that happens, which it won't, then things would change. But see, this is it. People are too soft here in America. See, this is the problem. This softness has done too much damage. And I'm going to say it again. You know, in 1980s, when I heard that they were giving kids participation trophies, I said, do you understand what this means when they're 20 years, 30 years from now? They're going to feel entitled that they didn't do jack crap, but somehow they won? I'm like, you do understand that defeats the capitalist system. You do understand that is cheating to get ahead. Just because you have a trophy now, just like the winners, I'm like, what kind of dumbassery was that? Here we are later, 40 years later, just what we said was going to happen has happened, because you have a whole bunch of mediocre people out here thinking that they're just like a rich, smart dude when they're not. But because we have this dumbing down of America effect, i.e., 1980s, when the war on Department of Education, and it's been that way for the last 40 years, you could see the writing on the wall. A dumb population means manipulation, means you can take over, means they don't understand financial instruments, means we can steal from them. That's some of you watching this right now. So therefore, you have to up your game. There's education. There's AI out here. There's Google out here. I shouldn't say Google, but it's Google. Search engines are out here. You can learn stuff. There's no reason for you to sit by and watch the drain circle, because it's circling, ladies and gentlemen. But don't worry, we still have time. The countdown is December 31st, 2026. So once again, you have plenty of time to get with the SSN Nation plan. And by the way, I'm going to have Johan Confidante back on the channel. That's right, he's a lawyer in the Dominican Republic. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. If you can find a good pre-construction project, but unfortunately you're not going to be able to, because they have high tourism numbers for the first 4 months. I don't know the main numbers yet. January through April, we know, breaking records. They're plus 9% this year. Last year this time they were plus, if they were lucky enough to be, +1. The best thing that happened to the DR and the countries in the Caribbean was there's a war in Middle East where a lot of people travel. Nobody's going to all those spots that people love to go to. They're saying, hold on, somebody's firing rockets at these places. We can't be hanging out. And the air zone is a no-fly zone. So why are you going to take this risk? I don't know. And people are saying, well, I got to go somewhere else. And you know who goes and travels over there the most? Canadian, US, Australians. And so therefore, these people are staying around their own safe neighborhoods, safe country zones. So that means more tourists are coming in this hemisphere and the Western hemisphere of North and South America. So that helps out who? The tourist industry in these areas. If you're not in part of this, then okay, so be it. But this is why you should have a little real estate on deck. Because when you have real estate on deck, you still have potentials that somebody's going to call you up and say, hey, I'll give you $1,000 for your week for an asset. It's not a place you live. So therefore, yes, you can rent it out. $1,000, $1,500, whatever. That comes in handy, ladies and gentlemen, in this day and age. So all this stuff we were talking about, think about it. There's a trail. And once again, some people always have a way. Others, you know how it works. Some people give up. And you can't blame everybody, because everybody's not built to try to do something and didn't grow up where they had the tools. You guys, we're trying to give you a little tools. We try to give you a little help. That's why we give you links in the description box. So the first one was findhelp.org. And now we're going to talk about CoinEx because I don't think I put that in there, which I should have. But we'll start first with the Candlestick Trading Bible. That's even better. Okay, I might have put that in already, but that would be a good thing to go do. Check that out. And once again, no matter where you're watching from, make sure you smash that like button because the YouTube gods are in the house. Now, there is something else that I did not do. And I have not checked my emails. I have not checked my emails in over 10 days. I've been in the lab and it's been well worth it. Well worth it. There is nothing like synergy, energy, positive attitude when somebody's actually imagining what things can be and they actually are doing it, then talking about it, and two people are in the same direction. And I'll say it again, elite, best in class, staying with that premium empire. And that is the key right there, because that's going to mean a whole lot when everything is said and done. Because in this era, there's only pretty much the top 10% of the wealthiest left that's going to be spending money. The people that's going to be paying for advertising with decent dollars. They're the rich people. They're the corporations. Everybody else, okay, you'll take some money. But the bottom line to the story is the ecosystem is moving up. And what you want is the top dogs to say, hey, we need this because we got to get out to the masses. We need you. But then again, there's another side of the coin. There's always somebody that can be quick, be nimble, and there's always somebody that's smarter than somebody else. There is no static. There's no participation trophies when you're trying to be a superstar. You have to do it or sit on the sidelines and talk about it. So I'm fortunate enough to have an SSN Nation member that's in here doing it, and he's actually part of why I'm excited. Because I haven't seen this level of I haven't seen this level in I don't even know how long. Because all I've seen for the last 20, 30 years is dumbassery. I have never, I swear, this is the first person in my lifetime that can outpace me. I'm trying to level things off. This person is sitting there going, hey, check this out. I just did this. I'm sitting there like, he knows the vision, but I haven't gotten there yet. It's kind of like, yeah, I kind of getting there, but he's already got it. I'm sitting there like, oh, this has never happened. And the contribution is immense because there is a, shall I say, I don't really hang out online. So there is different things. There's different experiences. This is why, again, in America, this is why we used to be special. Because we had so many different people coming in from all over the world, and some of the smartest minds are intertwined within ordinary citizens, and then you learn something. Like I learn something every day. So I learn a little more. If that person's not here, oh my God, I would not be able to do what we're doing. I mean, I would, but I mean, the speed, the lightning speed, the expertise. I'm just fortunate. That's all I can say. And that's the whole point that is going on in America, and why when you start saying you don't want people from outside of the US or don't want people to come here, this is how America was built. And that's what people forget. They keep forgetting that it was built on immigrants. Just because you're a descendant of the EU, that doesn't mean you're still descendants of the EU. Your family came from outside of America. So therefore, that's how America got built. So what's wrong with all the people coming in over the last 150 years? Why was this a problem when we built a nation unlike any other on the planet? Everybody wanted to come here until now. And you think the mediocre people in America is going to do what? Yeah, they're going to cheat, rob, cheat, steal, rape, and pillage. That's what they're going to do, which is what they're doing. And you're part of sitting on the sidelines thinking everything's going to work out for you. Unfortunately, they're not caring about you. You're not invited to the party. Why are you acting like it? You better start pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. Oh, wait, too late. You can't do that. That's 1950s and 60s, you can say that. Those days are gone. You better start figuring out improving your mind and improving your skill set, because it's going to be a very bad thing that's going to happen in a few years. There is no savior coming. By the way, we owe more in debt. $1 trillion in debt. Do you know what you could do with $1 trillion? If we weren't in debt, we would have high-speed rail systems. Just saying. We would have free hospital, health care. Just saying. We would have an education system like it was 1955, 1965 again. We would be in the top 3 in the world in education. Not like almost 90. Come on, 75th, 55. What is that? You know what that is? That's mediocre BS. That's what that is. But I'm all here for it, ladies and gentlemen. Because, see, we all have different skill sets. When you have to survive your whole life, that means nobody handed anything to you. Then you know how to survive when anything happens. Unfortunately, we have a whole bunch of people that participation trophy, they're still trying to hang on to it like they did something when they didn't. So once again, you better get with the program. I'm giving you the tools. Just talked about where you can actually learn how to trade. Take your time. You still got 7-8 months, but the thing is, these 7 or 8 months when the market's going up and down, you could be making money. I'm not even in the stock market right now making money, which I wish I was paying attention today. But no, I had to be at 33 domain names today. And then we got to register the emails. And then we got to bring this thing all home. Because we got to go to the trademark office. And then all heck's going to break loose. I'm just saying. You know, one of those things that they always say, I wish you would know what I know now. Because if you knew what I know now, there's only one other, there's only one other person that knows the magnitude of what we're doing. And probably maybe you might have shared some things of bits and pieces of things. You know how your homeboys be like listening to part of what you're saying, but they're not really caring because they're like, we don't care. But this is what's happening. 2 people know what's coming. And I'm just going to say right now, let me put it to you in succinct ways. Because everybody cares about if you're doing something, how much is it worth? How much do you make? Yada, yada. I'm going to tell you right now. What we have built in less than a month. That's right, you heard me. In less than a month is already rivaling the biggest corporations in the world. And by the way, it's worth somewhere around 8 mil to 16 mil. And we're not done. We got some more tricks coming. Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm keeping track of the math now. I'm doing it now because of the young gun said, hey, man, I got this MVP thing doing. I was like, wait, what? Huh? Okay, I don't care about that. But now I'm caring because now I'm like, wait a minute. Premium products mean premium pricing. And that's why we have to be the best or try to be. You always have to try. And we're not even the best yet, but we're going to come with it. But we got the best team right now. And it might be very, very interesting how this all plays out because the way everything is that this programmer is doing, chief technology officer, co-founder is doing, it's almost on automated mode. I'm sitting there like, geez, all I got to do is hire a few people. And then we have control panels. This is incredible right now. This is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I am so happy to have this person on the team. And I'm so happy the person's an SSN Nation member again so we can tell the kids the stories. That's right. You guys are going to hear stories about this. This will be on CNBC Marketplace and everything. This is going to be one of those things. Because nobody's going to believe it. They will not. They're going to swear up and down we're lying. They will. They're going to swear up and down. The speed of execution is like no other. The the things that are being built is like no other, and it's going down. So you're going to have a chance to be a part of this, by the way. I forgot. I just got to tease you guys a little bit. You guys are going to find out. You guys are going to get to be testers. And if you want to be a founder, so to speak, we have a loyalty program. You can be a founder, you can be in the program. We got some stuff for you. I forgot about this. What am I talking about? I should bring this up earlier. And by the way, Johan Confidante is going to be here next week. All of you who invested in the Dominican Republic, the lawyer's coming. He answers questions. You know, nobody. You guys already know. You got to answer questions when you come here. He's going to answer questions, no charge to you. So if you have anything that you want to discuss, whether it's in DR or real estate on the island or anything related, because he's a Dominican Republic lawyer, so you might want to leave it to that. But if you have questions and need a lawyer, you got free time next week. We haven't scheduled the date yet. All I know is it's going to be 8:50 p.m. 7:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I just don't know what day yet. So you might want to stay tuned. Pay attention to, well, where? Facebook group page, WhatsApp group, because you're going to want to ask questions free. He answers freely. So you don't have to pay him until you go to DR and hire him. I'm just saying, he's going to be very candid. Ask any questions you want. So don't say we're not trying to help you guys. This would cost you an arm and a leg. And what do I mean by an arm and a leg? You bought a property for $200,000. That means normally he'll take 1 point something. So you either got to come in his office, give him like 2 to 3 G's. Yeah, he'll talk to you at the first, but then you got to give him 2 to 3 G's. And he'll process, you'll be like his client. He'll get you your contracts read, do all this stuff. Fine. And later on, transfer title. Okay, fine. But the point is, the information he knows and can help you with is invaluable. When something comes up, you get to call him up. Hey, man, this is what's going on. Then he has a program for you, as a lawyer should. Invaluable. But on our live stream, you're going to be able to ask him any question you want. There's no charges. Zero. Just saying. So you should be here if you want to make real estate investments in the Dominican Republic, whether you still want to do the pre-construction, no qualifying, no credit check, no barriers to entry, or you want to wait for the meltdown. Because there will be a meltdown. You can't have people paying $50 per night, $60 per night, and spend $400 to $450 a week when you bought something for $250,000. That is not a recipe. That is a recipe for disaster. You will not win with this. And you're only going to get 40 or 30 to 40% occupancy. You're going to be in trouble. In other words, you're going to be sitting there going, well, wait a minute, I paid $230,000 for this thing and I can't even get $2,000 a month. And I got to give up 25% of it. So we're way, way low. You can't even make but 5% a year, 3% a year. Then you might as well just kept your money in the stock market. In fact, you might as well just given your money to the treasuries, to the bonds, and got 4% or 4.5%. If that's what you all care about, why waste all the time, energy, and effort? And then you have a liability if nobody's renting it at a high clip. Now it's sitting there vacant. You don't know what's going on if you're not there. Especially if you're not in a building and you're in a villa location. You never know what somebody's doing. Just saying. You're putting yourself at high risk. But don't worry. We always have a plan. Call me. I'll still be around in a year and a half. That's right. How do I know? Well, anything can happen to anybody anytime. But it's not going to be because of my health. That's all I can tell you. Health is wealth. Make sure you take care of yourself. Eat properly. Get some exercise. Worry about your diet. Just make sure. And try to stay calm. Man, I'm giving a little bit of extra tonight. But it's okay. I get excited when a plan is coming together. All right. Let's see. Okay, Eric, ask him about my blue marlin situation. He'll be here next week. You can ask him yourself. He'll be here next week. I'm pretty sure he knows about it because lots of people bought blue marlin properties. And I'm pretty sure some of them were hired Johan. So he'll have something to maybe say about it, but let's get real. You know, Johan works there. How much can he really say? Right? He always has that government type of mentality. I better not say too much, but I will say it in a certain way that, just kind of relays the message, but doesn't ruffle feathers on the island because he lives there. You got what I'm saying. I get to ruffle feathers because I don't live on the island. And I was not going back, quite frankly. I told you guys this before. I wasn't going back. But yeah, he'll be here next week. I just don't know when. It'll probably, I don't know. I can't even say probably when. It'll be 8:50 p.m. DR time, which is 7:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 4:30 p.m. or 4:50 p.m. Pacific Time. And we didn't say, I talked to him today. He didn't say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. He just said maybe next week or the week after. So it'll be in the next 10 days. So you guys are going to have to stand by. Stand back. Stand by. Heard that before? Yeah, like a warning. All right, let's go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've only been on here for 47 minutes already? How time flies. So the way things is working out, I want you guys to win. So you need to protect yourself out here. You need to start thinking about what you're going to do. I can only talk. I can't direct you to make you do something. All right? You're going to have to figure it out because you can't just go, "Oh well, the prices are already bad now." And you're thinking next year they're going to change? On what planet do you live on? It's never changed like that. Since when do prices go really way back down after they went back up? This is a capitalist system, a rigged capitalist system. They don't really go back down. So what if it goes back 5% when they raise the thing 100? You see the point? They trick you. So therefore, you better start figuring out where you're going to get the extra 10% this year that you make now, an extra 15 or 20%, 10 to 15% just to break even, and you're already busting your ass. Now think about add on another 10% on top of that. Where are you going to bust your ass to get the extra 10% from? So something else has to be working for you. That means you need other assets that's bringing in passive income. Don't worry. It's going to take actually testing should be coming up in I don't even know. We got a superstar in our midst. It could be like 2 months or less, the way things are going. You could be testers. You guys could be the first to find out about what's happening. This is going to be awesome. You don't want to miss it. And you'll even have a way to participate. To make some money too. But you're going to have to do something though. That's the thing. Can't sit on your ass. So just saying. So I'm not going to be on here too much longer. I just want to thank everybody for being here. No matter where you are, thank you so much for listening. And I appreciate it if you smash the like buttons, the help button, subscribe to wherever you're at, follow. Because again, we are one of the shadow banned properties that they keep on the social media. And I don't just mean one platform. I mean out of the top 20 platforms, shadow banned on 18 out of 20. Just so you know. All right? This is how bad they don't want you guys to have information to help yourselves. Especially when we start talking about no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry that we were talking about for 3 years. They were like, hold on. These guys are getting some property where they don't have to put anything down. Their credit doesn't even have to be good. They can work on their credit for the next 2, 3, 4 years in some instances before they have to do anything, just make monthly payments. Wait a minute. These guys are getting property. There's some people that have 3, 4, 5 pieces of property. So you know what that means if property values increase and the next thing you know, you only put down like 20 to 30%, but your holdings are worth $1 million or more. Do you understand that is wealth, ladies and gentlemen? for free. Just saying. All right? Now, let me see what else we can do in here. Have anybody seen the trailer today? Nobody sees the trailer anymore. Do you guys see any ads popping up while the live stream is going? Because Google loves to add like 20 ads every 3 to 4 minutes on these videos. It's unheard of. Before I can get in and change it in the back office. Because I don't like them that long. I make them every 20 to 25 minutes on live streams. And on regular videos, just at the beginning and at the end. Because I know you guys have valuable time. You don't want to sit here and watch 20 videos in an hour. That's ridiculous. But that's what they're doing on my channel. Just saying. I have to go back in and remove all that crap. This is what they're out here doing, ladies and gentlemen. Not for everybody. Just saying. But just remember, this is what lights my fire. Because when you're treated differently and you give other people advantages, that's why I want to kick your ass. Not you specifically, the company. That's why I want to kick their ass. Because they're hurting OCs, having their own favorites. You follow what I'm saying? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that ain't happening under my watch when we do things. So therefore, this is why it lights my fire. And when I have somebody with me that's going to be like best in class, elite, and knows what he's doing and has ideas to boot, it's a win-win, and just mark it off. I feel so confident about this. This is unparalleled for me. Normally, I have to do everything myself. So I have to bring it along nice and slow, make sure I do everything. But now, oh no, the rocket ship, the Death Star, is already coming. That's all I can keep saying. I'm going to keep talking this big mess for the next 5 months. You're going to keep hearing it. But you guys are going to know something. Once the trademark office signs off on some stuff, then we can start talking about exactly what it is. And you guys will be in the testing room probably in 2 months. So both are going to coincide at the same time. We'll have trademark situations as soon as I get the emails all set up. We got 33 of them. I thought I could automate it, but I can't. So anyhow, I got to go in and change the DNS records and do all this crazy. But that's what we got to do, ladies and gentlemen, when you want to be superstars. So when we get the trademark situation handled, which should be a couple weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks. I'm thinking if everything goes smoothly, then we can start really talking. Then when we know everything's secured, then, oh, if you think I'm talking mess right now, wait. All right, wait. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm having a little fun tonight. You know, Friday night is story night. And I got to put some more things out there for you, because if your credit's bad, then we got to have you get smart credit, right? Get your smart credit going. That's a credit monitoring system. It also helps you when they tell you which time of the month to pay. That's invaluable, quite frankly. Most people say, well, that doesn't matter. It does matter. The time of month matters. So that helps you out. It also has other things as well. Oh, wait, I better hold on a second. Let me see what this is. They have other, yeah, see, I did it again. This is the whole thing for the back office. We can't do that. Come on now. Let's get real. All right, there we go. Let's go with this one, where you have smart credit, some actual help with credit. Then you have Robinhood, Webull, where you can download those guys. And yeah, they took away some of our followers in Instagram. No shocker. They banned me somehow at Facebook. It's all over the place. It's just silliness, right? It's not like I'm special or anything. It's not like we ever had 1,000 views per video. But this is like totally ridiculous right now. Just blocking me. Facebook said I couldn't send messages. And I was like, I haven't even been on Facebook really. I can't send messages. So then I was like, what's going on? Come to find out, I'm blocked. And I'm like, how could I be blocked? I don't even use this. I was on Stop Struggling Now page. I don't even do much on that page. So I'm like using that chat, and all of a sudden it says unable. And I'm like, why is this unable? I Google, and it says, oh, you've been blocked. I'm like, I got no notification of any blockage, but I'm blocked. They even shut down 3 videos last week, like after 5 minutes or so. I don't even know why. But today, I guess I'm not blocked anymore because the video's rolling. So I don't know. Maybe it was just a temporary thing or something. And by default, they turned around and blocked me on Instagram because Meta owns Instagram. You see how these guys are doing it? I'm like, what did I do? I know what I did. I'm trying to help the OCs. That's what I'm doing. Making it so easy for you. Remember the holding company setup? You guys remember that? I talked about that. Remember the trademarks and IP? We had a video about that live stream. Remember that? See, that's where the danger comes in. Once people start realizing what these assholes are doing, and you can do it too, but generally, like for instance, do you know these 33 domains that I got today? You know those are like it costs $500. Some of these are premium domains, right? So they charge more because they don't want you to have it. These things are domains that are $110, $120, $150 a year. I got a special right now, but next year it's going to be $130, $150, $170. Yeah, I got like a third of the price, but next year that $500 bill ain't going to be that. It's going to be like 800 to 1,000. So this is why the entry point is what the entry point is, because they know how many people live paycheck to paycheck, and they also know how many people have $500 in their bank account. Do you guys know? 60% of Americans do not have $500 in their bank account. So if you know this, you can weaponize it. If you know 70% of Americans don't even have $1,000 in their bank account, then you understand how they can weaponize it. Take advantage. I've seen things going on right now at the grocery store. I went in one store somewhere. I can't remember where I was. I think it was in Vegas. And the guy goes, I said, hey man, what's going on with the price? They actually have dynamic pricing in the store. Okay, if you're not familiar with dynamic pricing, what it means is just like it could be everybody gets off work between 5 and 6 or 5 and 7, right? So they raise the price like 50 cents. This is what they're doing in the store. It got crowded, so the prices flip up. It's electronic. I was like, I never saw this before in my life. I said I heard about it. I was in shock because I went up to I literally got it off the shelf. I ran back. I was in line. I got off the shelf. I got it off the shelf. I saw the special tag. I walk up to the front, and the thing was off like $1 or something, $1.25, and I just got it. I was like, I said, no, man, on the thing. And you know what I did? You know what I do now? I take pictures. Because whenever there's special deals, I take pictures because for whatever reason, they start acting stupid at the counters, right? So I took a picture. I get up there. He says, oh, no, man, this thing's like $1.25 more. I said, no, it's not. Here. He starts going, well, I don't know. But then we got dynamic pricing. I was like, what did you just say right now? Dynamic pricing means prices change based on conditions. So do you want to buy this for the extra 125? I said, the principal says, hell no, I don't. He's like, I'll take it back. I said, hey, I don't care if it's $1.25. It's the principal. On the shelf, it said this. Right now, it says this. I'm like, I'm not down with dynamic pricing. But see, the assholes are thinking. They know what to do. Do you? You better start figuring out who the enemies really are around here. That's all I'm going to tell you. It ain't me. It ain't you. But they're making sure that we're fighting amongst ourselves. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, get on board. Tamara Larry, another investor's in the house. She's out here doing her thing, raising family, doing things, working hard, and an investor's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And she brings her tagline this evening. It's simple. It always is. Hello, all. That's what she leaves with us, ladies and gentlemen. But don't get it twisted. She sits here in silence most of the time, but she's an investor waiting for the next investment opportunity. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you, hey, I'm over here in Cali right now. Driving down the street. I mean, literally, you go down this street, go to the right, turn on another street to get out of the subdivision. There's at least 10 homes for sale. At least. People are like, I better start selling right now because it's gonna get bad out here. Nobody's buying. I better start thinking about putting this up. Let me take that $200,000 or $300,000 profit I got. I want to take that right now. I only bought this thing for 150, 125, and I can get 450, 500 for it. Let's get rid. But now 10 homes are for sale. And I would say, if I had my guess, I would say if I counted, that'd be 24 and probably about another 20. There's 10 homes for sale out of 50 homes that you would drive by. 10. They're all competing. And most of the homes in a subdivision, there's only 3 or 4 different models. So now people have nearly the same floor plans, but somebody would have upgraded or put out a patio or added a pool, whatever. But again, those are the wrong things that really don't add value. People think they do. Fixing up your kitchen does. Making your bedroom much better does. Adding another bathroom does. Making sure your flooring's right does. Appearance on the curb does. But everything else, that extra pool you spent 50 grand for, sorry. You don't get to go, oh yeah, I bought the house for 400 and now it's worth 450 because I put a pool in the back. It's not how it works. Just saying. You put that little shed out back thinking that's all cute and you've spent 7 grand, 5 grand for it. You think that can increase value? Sorry. You got a new garage door and you think that's cool? Sorry. You're wasting valuable time and money. There's certain things that you need to invest in when you have a house if you're trying to sell it and improve the value. But the point I'm trying to make is this is what's going down. This is in Cali. People are like, I'm out. Because what's happened is the homes used to sell for 500. And now that same $500 house, they're ranging from 480 to 420. So everybody's like, oh my God, let me get out right now. Because if this keeps going down, I was gonna make $300,000 to $400,000. Now all of a sudden, I'm gonna make 200 to 300,000, and it could be one of those 2007-8 things. So people are bailing. They've seen this before when things priced high, nobody can afford it. So they're saying, let me get the hell out of here right now and take my $300,000 or $400,000 and let me move to a southern state because it's cheaper. Yeah. I tell all my friends in Cali talking noise. I say, man, you should move over there. If you like what they're doing, just move. Nobody's stopping you. Go move. You want to live down there in Louisiana? Go move there. You want to go live in Texas? Go move there. You want to go live in Mississippi? Go move there. You want their rules? Go move there. Have a nice life. Get back to me in 2 months. Get back to me. All right? Get back to me. All right? Take your ass down there. You go live there. Go find out what it's like. Live under what you want to live under. Go have at it. By the way, do you guys know something? You guys know by political stances, you know the red states are the Confederate states, right? Same old Confederacy, right? Do you know there's a 20-year life expectancy rate difference between living in the red belt and living outside of the red belt? 20 years, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, I'm bringing that up on Monday. Don't worry. I'm going to show you the graph. It's incredible. When I saw this, I was like, of course it is. A place that doesn't care about regulation, a place that doesn't care about polluting water, the place that doesn't give a damn about hurting and killing people. Oh, I think I understand. That is funny stuff. When I saw this, I said, no, this can't be right. 20-year difference between living in the red zone, which, you know what I always talk about, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, all this BS. Florida, well, Florida maybe not because that's a different thing. But I didn't look at but it's in the same Confederate state. It's like you look at the map and you're like, 20-year difference is in that zone. Clearly there's a problem in that zone. Yeah, maybe healthcare. Maybe. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Stop playing games out here. Your life is in danger. Do you know what country you live in? Do you understand the assignment? Do you understand who's out here trying to take from you and not give anything back? And then you worried about a welfare person or a person getting free lunch or anything like that. Meanwhile, you don't care about all the rich guys taking trillions of dollars out of our government. You don't care. But you're going to blame the poor soul that's next to you in the same boat. And you're opening up holes in their boat so they can't do something that you think they're doing when in fact the other guys are doing it. By the way, I just want to tell you guys something else, and I'm out. You know when somebody does fraud, medical fraud, welfare fraud, Medicare fraud, do you guys understand when you go in to get services and you have insurance, you do understand you don't get the money, right? Who gets the money? The business gets the money for the service that they did from the government, for instance, or insurance companies, for instance. So when you say fraud, how come you're blaming the person when those individuals kept the money? They didn't give out any money. They only gave out services. So how are you blaming everybody else? Them assholes are the one that got the money from the government, from the city, from the state, from your ass when you have premiums. You don't get any money when you go in and get any health care. No, you go here. Here's my card. Oh, you have a copay? Here's $30. They're shipping these assholes the money when they say an x-ray costs $1,000. When they say, oh, you came to emergency today, that's $1,500, $2,000. They're giving them the money. So how are you going to blame me when I showed up and got services and they're the ones that stole the money and didn't pay these guys? They're the ones doing the fraud. What are you guys on right now? You guys act like you live in a different country. Oh, I'm going to blame the immigrant that came across the water. I'm going to blame this guy. I'm going to blame the minorities. What are you guys out here doing with this mediocre, weak-ass stuff? Come on now. Stop playing. You got to recognize what's going on. You can't be biased, and you shouldn't be, but there are people biased. They act like I'm the one when I go get hospital care that I'm the one that's doing the fraud. They have to get the money. The guys did... When Rick Scott did $1.7 billion worth of fraud, what did that get him? Oh, he gets to be a governor and a senator. And you guys are worried about 1.7 billion, ladies and gentlemen. His company, he should be in jail right now. But you're going to blame my man, the immigrant, that's over here going, hey, man, let me fix your car. Let me mow your lawn. Let me work on your car. What? Hey, let me fix your roof. Anything I can do to make some money? That's your man. That's the guy you guys are mad at. You're not mad at the guy that's sitting there that stole the money. Silliness right now in America. Dumbassery's going on. But all I can say is you get what you deserve. Because if you're going to be siding and trying to decide what's bad and what's good, fine, do it. But I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not the ones squeezing you. Because your premiums are going up, not because of them. It's because of all the fraud. And they're not the ones collecting the money. Enough. That Friday night, I'm tired. I'm gone. Because I'm doing something big, so my mind is on higher things right now. So I'm even more disgusted when I keep running across nonsensical stuff. And we have human beings that think other human beings should suffer. Meanwhile, they think, oh yeah, let me give you $200 million. Just take your money. Oh yeah, don't give me my cell phone that we paid for. Tell me later it's not going to be delivered. All this crap you're good with. But soon as somebody lies and says, oh, Eric, he got free money, even though it's a lie. No, I got services. The dude's got the money. I'm not saying this happened to me. I'm just saying that's what they're doing. That's the argument. It's fraud. I'm like, well, then why don't you arrest the guys that got the money then? So what if I got services? It was verified. It was cleared. It said, yeah, we're going to pay the claim. Yeah, we're going to pay it. So let them allow them to do the service. So once you said okay, why are you trying to blame me? Right? That doesn't make sense. That'd be just like any of us right now. You go down to the hospital, you get service. Your insurance paid. And then 10 years or 5 years or 3 years later, somebody rocks up to your house. Hey, why did you commit fraud? You're like, what are you talking about right now? What fraud? Oh, well, you guys, you don't deserve to go to the hospital. You don't deserve anything. You, well, wait, you didn't get anything. What are you talking about? What fraud? No, I heard you got fraud. You made money. We're paying for you. Yeah, but you ain't worried about paying for that $40 million contract from two guys that just opened up their company a week ago that Christy Noam got a contract to. That looks like fraud to me, but you don't care. You see, that's a different story. They're taking your tax dollars and you don't care. Just stop playing out here, ladies and gentlemen. You're playing with the wrong people and you're about to get effed over. It's just a matter of time. The cream rises to the top, the money rises to the top. When you own a company, that's why the rich guys are at the top, because everybody's paying into their services or their business. And so they get to keep the money, they get to hoard the money. And I shouldn't use the word hoard, but that's basically what it is. If you got $1 million and you didn't have to work 16 hours a day or 12 hours a day or 10 hours a day, and you have money coming up to you, and you can say, well, look, man, we got $5 million. Let me go out here and buy a $3 million boat. Because he didn't have to earn it. He didn't have to work 12, 16 hours a day, work two jobs. So he gets to do that. You're still sitting at the job doing your thing, but the money, he's have services and businesses where people are buying his stuff. He deserves to make money. People are buying his business. But the flow of money goes up. So therefore, that's why we always talked about you need assets that pay you. You should not be a consumer for life. You should be trying to figure out how to reduce being a consumer and parking some of that money into something that can make you money while you sleep. That is the essence of Stop Struggling Now. That's what you have to do, ladies and gentlemen. Look here, emerging millionaires, you in the house, let's go. It's about to get rough out here. Not right now. It's going to be in about a year, year and a half. It's about to get rough. It's already, the signs are here on all levels if you look hard enough. But we're able to fake the funk because we can print money. America, that is. We can print money so they can fake like they have money. It's easier to do when you can print money unabated, but that increases inflation, which we have to pay for, not the rich guys, because they don't care about inflation. They have enough money. I'll reiterate, what is $1 billion? It's 1,000 $1 million stacks of bags. Do you hear me? 1,000 bags of $1 million. Do you think you can spend that in a lifetime? Even if you tried to, you would end up buying assets. You would have to go 3 years almost, spending $1 million a day to run out of the cash without investing. You would, I mean, even if you used some of it, a tenth of it to invest in something, you would not run out of money. You can easily do $1 million and earn 10% in JEPQ and have $100,000 a year coming back. I mean, this is so nonsensical. It's like you cannot spend it. There's no way you can spend $1 million a day for 3 years. There's no way. You would have to be really doing something silly. I don't know what that could be, but that would be really, really crazy, right? So this is the magnitude when somebody says they have $1 billion. It's like you can make money. You can park two stacks of it, $2 million, make $200,000 a year. Go buy yourself a $2 million house. And what do you got to worry about? Nothing. That's why stocks are important. That's why dividend stocks are important. And by the way, I forgot about something before I end this because I rightfully should. And I messed up on Wednesday because a guy told me that he sent me a message and I said I'll check it out. And because I got excited the last 24 to 48 hours with some revolutionary art, I'll call it, for lack of a better word, because that's what it is, programming for something special, art. Um, I did not go in and what the heck's going on here? I did not go in and go look at my emails. So, and Brian P has sent me stuff that helps people out for what is going on here? I this is insane. I'm looking at something that's weird. I got to pay attention. I don't want to see something that's weird like this on my computer. I don't I don't like what I'm seeing right now. Why is this happening? It's taking me to the wrong address. This is strange. I'm going to have to figure this out, so I'm not going to be able to go to where I want to go. Knicks and Spurs, ladies and gentlemen. Knicks and Spurs. They're on right now, so I'm going to run, even though I'm not going to watch it. But just letting you guys know. Um, I'll see you on Monday. Make sure you stay safe over this weekend because you never know what's going to happen out here. And I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support over all these years. And we're not going anywhere. We have something else coming that's going to be very, very cool for everybody involved. Hopefully, I can get you guys involved somehow. Maybe we can figure out. There's a way you can get involved, but you're going to have to do something, right? So, again, we'll see. But maybe we can come up with something. I don't know. You know how I always like to try and help the OCs. But in this case, I don't see how I can do anything differently than what you can do right now with the programs that we have in place. Although, you know we're going to have the Ring of Fire, right? You know we're going to have some investment opportunity type stuff. We're going to be talking about that. So, maybe we can. But that still means you need disposable income. So make sure you get that disposable income because otherwise it's going to be bad. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, and that's why you got to stay calm, at least try. You got to be out here and trying to make additional streams of revenue whenever you can. You have to figure out what you can do for your family because things are going to go awire. Not now, not now. This little stock market thing, so what? But it's your opportunity to buy some shares of stock. SpaceX is coming out with an IPO. They're already gearing up for it to be some astronomical number. I expect $1 trillion is what it's going to be valued at simply because Elon's one of the best marketers of all time. He promises the moon, doesn't deliver, nobody says nothing. So same thing here. He'll say SpaceX going to be putting people on Mars in 2 years or some nonsense. We got this, we got that, and that's not going to happen. So, but people believe it. I don't know why, but they will again, and then the evaluation goes even higher. So I predict they're talking about $800 billion. I predict it's going to be $1 trillion because Elon's all over. Remember, he's been flying all over the world, putting himself into every country. Well, not every country, but a lot of countries' spaces, putting himself out there. So he's like a little marketer, always has been. So I believe that little situation is going to end up being over $1 trillion. SpaceX, that's promising the moon. We'll have moon bases. We'll have Mars bases. We'll do all. I'm like, I think it's just an escape hatch. That's what you're doing. You're just making people pay for you to escape this crap that you're actually helping to create. I'm like, come on, man. Dude, how do you have $1 billion? How do you almost have $1 trillion worth of net wealth? And you don't sit around and actually say, you know what, maybe that $800 billion or $700 billion is a bit much. I could actually stop world hunger if I wanted to. Yeah, let me just use 50 billion, well, $75 billion. And then let me end world health, world hunger. Maybe I'll spend another 750 of it and build some affordable homes in Texas where he likes to hang out. Maybe I'll do that. I could build how many subdivisions? I don't know. Tons. Maybe I can help out the American citizens who's making me wealthy. Him and Bezos. Maybe they can combine and say, you put up 50, I put up 75. We all both put up 75. We can end world hunger and we can build affordable homes for 3, 4 states. And maybe we can create some jobs where people get livable wage jobs instead of giving robots. Maybe. Just saying. Because how else did they get the wealth? Was on your hard earned money. Just keep that in mind. And I'm going to end this, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm having a problem with my outlook. Unfortunately, it's saying something about Java and all this stuff, but it's okay. Hopefully, we'll see some of you on Monday, if not all of you. Just make sure you tell other people Eric was on one today, but hey, he gave you a little bit of good info, I hope. And I want to thank you once again for watching this, and make sure you share. And I appreciate your support. But just no matter what you do out here, because it's hard, just make sure you keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.